Welcome back at long last.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the prestigious Internet Championship. Introducing first from New York.
What a better way to kick off a brand new season of all influencer wrestling than a grand operatic performance by one of your 4 Double Clout champions, Her Royal Highness, the Ginger Flame. I, of course, as always, am your Clout Missioner, Tyrion Gardal, the most dashing Lianson pirate in all of professional wrestling, and welcome to the Season 3 premiere of All Influencer Wrestling. We are mixing things up this season. Unification of belts is the name of the day. Both the Double Clout and Sold Clout titles will be matched together. Making their way to the ring now, the Ginger Flames tag partner, an undefeatable duo it seems. The badass biker herself, Candy Holiday, erstwhile partner of the Ginger Flame. Together, they form Candied Ginger. They have had a vice grip around those tag bouts throughout all of the previous seasons. But as I said before, we are unifying the tag belts. And they have to face an intriguing matchup tonight. Arguably the best outcome possible for Candy Ginger, because the other half of the roster had a very shocking upset toward the end of last season, where a similarly dominant tag team in the form of RBFS were defeated by the team we are about to see now. Beautiful Bob, handsome Hank, the deadly Duo.
At a combined weight of that 2 pounds, beautiful Bob and handsome Hank.
Do not adjust your sets, do not adjust your monitors. This is indeed this colourful of a match. Lots of pinks, lots of purples, lots of blues. We are off to a Technicolor extravaganza here to kick things off for this brand new season. Later on tonight in our main event, we will be seeing a similar matchup as our 2 Sold Clout champions face off to unify those belts. Both relatively recent holders, Battlestar Galactica versus DC Lasser. But first things first. One of these 2 teams gets to retain their title. Who is it gonna be? And we are off. It's Ginger Flame and Hank starting things out, and Ginger Flame taking it immediately to one half of the duo, trying to end it very early on, only a 1-fall, but the Ginger Flame sending a message to the duo. Candy Ginger did not come to play. The counter by Hank. The Duwu member now in control, and there's a quick tag. Good tag team strategy by the Duwu. This is how they knocked off RBFS in a very much David and David versus 3 Goliaths contest. But we have seen this sort of match type play out before with Candy Ginger, where the Ginger Flame takes a lot of the early offense, and then the dynamo firecracker that is Candy Holiday runs riot against the opposing team. Ginger Flame, though, in serious trouble. Up and a big power bomb by Beautiful Bob, and now Hank back in as the Ginger Flame crawls over, and there is the tag. Candy Holiday now in, and quick boots to the shin, and rolling through immediately into a quick roll-up attempt. No purchase found though, not even a 1 count. Taken down, and clubbing blows raining down onto the head there by Handsome Hank. And counter knee to the gut by Holiday, and quick uppercut, and again an early pinfall attempt. Only a 1 count though. Strategy here seems to be from Candy Ginger to force the Duwu to kick out repeatedly, sap those stamina reserves. Definitely playing the long game. Will it work out for them? Remains to be seen. Working the shoulder, it seems now, of Handsome Hank, and sweep the leg. Getting Candy into position, going for the armbar. Wrenching the arm of Candy Holiday, but able to maneuver herself under the slight frame of Candy Holiday, proving an advantage there. Able to wriggle easily out of the grasp. And a slight frame though she may have, do not underestimate the strength of Candy Holiday, and stuck in the middle of the ring. Glassy eyes, still only a 1 count. And bounce off, and running leg drop by Candy, and looks like now the tag by Candy Ginger, the Ginger Flame, now back in play, and Handsome Hank seems to be in real trouble. And what is the Ginger Flame calling for now? Waiting for Bob to get back up, and off the top rope, drop kick, down goes. I'm sorry, Hank. Ref getting into position. Took a little bit of time to get around there though, and again, not even a 1 count. The resiliency of the Duwu. You get them down, but they do not stay there. And a big flying cross-body splash down onto Handsome Hank by the Ginger Flame. We don't often see her bust out the high-flying maneuvers, but when we do, the match is usually getting into its tail end. Locking up in the ring, and Hank fighting his way back in. Side drop, down goes the Ginger Flame, and slowly making his way back into his corner. There's the tag. It's Beautiful Bob, legal once again. No tag made by Candy Ginger, and head scissors takedown and punch to the back by Hank. And we're back to how we started, and into the corner of Candy Ginger, and this could be a dangerous position for Beautiful Bob. Getting choked out by the boots of the Ginger Flame, and there's the tag once again. Candied Ginger, quick tag changes. It's Candy Holiday now, the legal competitor. And grappling up, and it looks like it's Bob that got the better of it. And quick scoop slam, down goes Candy. And now a reversal of fortunes. Candy Holiday trapped in the Duwu's corner. Quick tab, double team offense, and launched off the back into that double knee strike goes Handsome Hank. Hauls Candy back up to her feet. And off the ropes, and big lariat, down goes Candy. And the Ginger Flame thought maybe she needed the assist. Didn't turn out to be the case, and that could be a critical misstep. Candy kicks out at 2, but that was the only attempt that the Ginger Flame had to get in, and Candy barely kicks out in time. We now are in a situation where Candy Holiday really needs to make that tag to get the Ginger Flame back in, not only to give herself a moment to recover, but to refresh that timer and allow the Ginger Flame the opportunity to come back in and attempt to break up a tag if necessary. And charging through and grapple around the waist and up onto the shoulders, and atomic drop down goes Handsome Hank onto that unforgiving ringside area. Interesting strategy by Candy Holiday. Locks in the armbar on the outside. You're going to get a tap out there. Regardless of whether Hank taps or not, that is not going to end the match. They need to get this back into the ring, though. And indeed, that is what Candy is up to as the ref's count hits 7. We're going back in. A lot of torture inflicted on that arm. And rolls back in, slowly goes for that pinfall too. And that is that. It seems not even fellow tag champions can solve the problem that is Candied Ginger. Their reign continues unabated. A valiant performance by the Duwu. Excellent double team offense we saw from them there, but in the end, it is the seemingly indefeatable team of Candy Holiday and the Ginger Flame that remains your new united double clout champions. We saw there, this almost the match ender there. Big slam by Bob. The Ginger Flame miscalculated, not able to save her partner, but nonetheless, you can't keep Candy Holiday down. A strong performance by both teams. We now move on, taking a quick commercial break, and when we return, we are going to be introducing a new match type. The Ginger Flame, Candy Holiday. Well fought, well deserved, and carrying those tag titles into this new era of All Influencer Wrestling. After these quick messages, we will be back for a brand new match type, as it is time for the Intercontinental Division to go underground. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Captain Tyrion Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Minnesota, and the Clout Missioner of All Influencer Wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. TinyHatLabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? TinyHatLabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Tyrion Guidel, and TinyHatLabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet. Welcome back, and welcome to the Underground. A new match type here for the scrappiest of our competitors. And they don't get a lot more scrappy than Mac. No ring ropes. This is a real street fight. One of these two competitors will go on to challenge the current Intercontinental title holder, the crowd favorite, Stephen Joyce. Don't worry, regardless of the differing rules in this match type, we're not going to let Mac use those swords. Trust me, she'd do more damage to herself than any opponent. And a bit of a revamp. We have new music, new attitude. The Hunter Pressery D. Pressery previously successfully cashing in the Drama Bomb briefcase, looking to get title gold back around her waist and looking to find it in the Intercontinental division. Speaking of those drama bombs, lest you all forget, that is still a holdover from the previous season, and the Artificer, Big Magic Reynolds, still has that bomb to drop. With two friends in the main event, will this be the time he does it?
Contest is an underground match. The only ways to win are by knockout or submission.
No pinfalls in these.
From overseas, Mac Lane. And from parts unknown, the Hunter.
As much as I am known to give her grief, and trust me, it is warranted, this is a match type that arguably favors Mac extremely well. No pinfalls, no countouts, only tap out or knockout. And this scrappy little cheat and scrag is well suited. But Pressery is immediately locking in that submission. Mac though rolls through and rolls out. Nice thing about submission attempts in this match type is you do not have to worry about your opponent rolling through into a pinning predicament. And whilst there are no ring ropes, there are still ring posts, which we just saw Mac turn to great advantage. And armbar locked in. Pressery though rolls through, tossing Mac off like she's nothing. And a boot off to the side. The crowd dispersing as Mac goes flying down to the outside. And a big boot right to the head. Pressery is leaving no prisoners tonight. You may also note the ref is not counting. No countouts in this match type either. She is called the Hunter for a reason, and Pressery seems to have locked in Mac as her prey, but quick counter by Lane, and she's back on a quick punt to the gut. And what does Mac have in mind here? Up and down goes Pressery. And a counter rolled over the shoulders. Pressery now in control and really working over the head of Mac, which perhaps inadvisable. There's nothing in there that's going to do any real damage. I would advise maybe focusing more on the limbs. And a big spinning scissors takedown and another boot. Mac is targeting the ribs of Pressery and they're going back to the spine, seemingly the midsection what Mac has decided to isolate. And another boot to the gut and rolls through. Would be a potential pinfall if that was an option in this match, which it ain't. And again, using that ring post to full effect. Pressery now also busted open. Setting the mood for this new match type, I think. An impressive strength by Mac. I gotta give it to her, the way she just hoyed Pressery back into the ring. That took some impressive core strength by Mac, and locking in, look at that, the knee driven right down to that injured spine, but Pressery able to power through, did not tap. And again, hurling Mac out into the crowd barrier and down, big cross splash. Bold move by Pressery though, she has really had those ribs worked over and using those to make an attack. is potentially a very double-edged sword, but got Mac locked in deep here on the outside, eventually forced to break the hold. This new match type sure to be the most vicious, the scrappiest in all of All Influencer Wrestling, and these two are really showcasing that in its debut form. Working over the injured, bloodied head of Presery. Tried to go for the knee strike, saw it coming, rolled out of the way, and back into that ring post once again. And up. Scoop to carry, and I thought she was going to bounce Mac off the ring apron there. Hardest part of the ring, regardless of whether there's ropes or not. And draping knee strike by Presery. You have to imagine if pinfalls were legal in this match, we'd be seeing many of those attempts right now, as badly as these two have brutalized each other. What does Presery have in mind? And good night. Again, that would be arguably a pinfall victory, but not in this match. Working over, she's got that armbar locked in. Can Mac power out, or is this gonna, she does indeed roll through? The arm is still locked in, but blows to the face, and Presery finally forced to let go. But that was a lot of torque on that arm for quite some time. A lot of damage done to the striking strength of Lane, who misjudged herself there, backed up, and gave Presery a grand opportunity. And this time it's Presery's turn to go flying. Mac, I think, not used to this match type. She was trying to look for the ropes there to go for some high-flying maneuvering and didn't find what she was looking for. You're going to have to break that muscle memory for this match type. And counter by Presery, corkscrew leg takedown. Somewhere backstage, Stephen Joy's watching this match intently. This is going to be the match type he has to defend that Intercontinental title in, and it will be against one of these two. And over and down goes Presery. And head scissors locked in, choking out the Hunter, but rolls through very quickly. Very quick escape there by Presery. Knee strike down to the spine and boot to the gut, just working Mac over any which way possible. Plants the head right in front of that very appreciative fan there on the outside. Boot to the ankle now. And moving in for the ankle lock. Shifting focus to a different limb, but Mac able to roll through and boot to the side of the face, powers through. Presery trying a different tack there, didn't really work out for her, and throwing to a different side of the ring now. Yeah, back up out of the way there, my friend. I don't know what Mac has in mind, but it's not going to work out well for anyone nearby. Or her, it seems. Presery playing possum on the outside, rolling through, and another boot to the head. Back and forth, back and forth. And impressive athleticism by Mac this deep in. That was a huge burst of energy. Is that going to be all she had left, though? And up and over we go and slam down once again. Really working over that, pointing up to the heavens. Mac seems to think she's coming close to the end of this. Big swinging neckbreaker, and that's the KO. That has done it. Presery D blacking out on the outside after that flurry of adrenaline-fueled offense by Michaela Lane. We roll through, and there we see once again that impressive show of strength by Mac we saw earlier. She's tiny, but she's got that fight in her. Here we saw Presley's attempt to end this. Again, neither competitor really used to this match type as of yet. Plenty of opportunities to end had this been a standard match type. Lots of opportunities for those pinfalls, but you gotta go for that submission or, as Max showed, the knockout. And we see once again, not a lot of variety in moves for Mac, but that's fine when you can only count to 3. You only need 3 moves, and they are the ones that finished it. Presley staring up at the lights, and Mac Lane quite literally punching her way to a showdown next week with Stephen Joyce to challenge for the Intercontinental title. What a debut for the underground match here in All Influencer Wrestling, but we have plenty of clout-chasing action. Up next, a fabulous multi-man contest to determine who will face the victor of our main event in future. We'll be right back after this.
Captain Turret Guidel, Clout Missioner of All Influencer Wrestling here, and I have a question for you. Do you like robots? Do you like space? Do you like queer romance? How about gay robots in space? Then you should read Emotional Resonance by V.M. Ayala, now available in print for the first time as part of the Best American Science Fiction and Fantasy 2024. See HarperCollins.com for details.
Welcome back, 6-man Battle Royal.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Chroma City.
Alex, of course, a long-time stalwart of All Influencer Wrestling, a former title holder, and indeed everyone in this match will be very familiar to the AI dub faithful.
Here comes the money. Here we go.
In some cases, unfortunately.
And her opponents, first from Astorio HQ, weighing in at 275 pounds, GP.
We have at least stripped the golden ticket of his personal security, but regrettably, he does still remain. Plenty of new matchups as we have merged the rosters. Glix and GT sharing a ring for the first time ever. Later on, we will have additional multi-competitors as a triple threat to challenge for the $1 shillion title is on the line. We also will have a very special showcase match between them.
And from New York,
Ring General Mary, who has proven herself time and time again in multi-competitor matches. This is the match type in which Mary has been the most successful. Tag, Rumble, no matter what it is, Mary does very well in the chaos of these multi-competitor matches. And if she can roll that through today, Mary will be getting her ticket to a showdown with either Battlestar Galactica or DC, depending on the result of our main event later tonight. And our first ever Sold Clout champion making his way down. Perennial favorite Abel the Dreamer Theron. A high flyer, could be risky in a rumble or a battle royal, excuse me, where being thrown over the top rope is how you lose. But similarly, the ability to pinball yourself around the ring can really help out. Could go either way for Theron, who would love a shot at reclaiming the Sold Clout title. If there is, however, one competitor to watch for in this match, the destructive, dominant force of Jeneth Astorio. Jeneth on a revenge tear ever since losing the $1 Shillion title. She has now moved up in the world. Jeneth has her sights set on the Sold Clout title. She does not care who you are. She does not care how you identify. She does not care whether you are tall, small. She is going to tear you apart on her path to victory. Jeneth, Glix, Mary, Abel, the golden ticket. One competitor remains. A potentially very intriguing outcome from this match should Kineas be the victor. He will be facing either friend DC Lasser or his tank main tag partner, Battlestar Galactica. Six competitors, one will remain standing at the end of this, with a guaranteed shot at Sold Clout glory. The crowd on their feet. It's not just because we've taken the chairs away. And immediately locked up into a set of 2-on-2s. It's Kineas, Jeneth, and Glix that have the upper hand, but there's Abel Theron countering. Look at just the way that Jeneth Astorio towers over everyone else in this ring. And there's that high-flying abilities of Abel that I mentioned. Risky to go up to the top rope, but paid off. Slammed down onto Kineas, and Glix and Mary locking it up on the other side of the ring. GT getting back into it. Mary in trouble already. Glix going for an early elimination. And DDT and Jeneth helping Glix. Could this be it for Mary? No, Mary hangs on.
Is she able to fight her way back in? That was very, very close for Mary. Able, though, to power her way back in. And sweep the leg. Mary now taking it to both Jennifer and Glix in retaliation for that attempt to get her out. And Golden Ticket now seemingly going for the elimination himself, trying to get rid of Kineas. And Abel trying to see the same thing with Jennifer. What an upset this would be. Can he do it? I think maybe. No, Jennifer holds on and the boot's still getting stuck in. I think no, Jennifer simply too powerful. Bulldog there by Glix taking down Jennifer. It's Glix and Kineas now, the only two remain standing. And there's Golden Ticket and Abel Theron back to their feet. Abel over the rope and eliminated. Abel Theron is the first to go, eliminated by Kineas. And the Golden Ticket over. Can he make it a 2 for 2? And there goes Golden Ticket. Back-to-back eliminations by the Pirate. Chris Kineas knocking out Golden Ticket and Abel Theron in quick succession. And there goes Mary. No Druid solidarity here. This field's just cut in half. It is now down to Glix, Kineas, and Jennifer. And a big scoop. Planting Kineas like he was nothing and just disrespectful. Walking stomp over the chest. Well, I hope Kineas enjoyed getting those two eliminations because I think this may be it for him. And there's Glix and Jennifer teaming up. Can he hold on? He's fighting in there. Can he tank main his way through this? It'll be a rough shot to do it. No, he cannot. And immediately elbow strike. Smart strategy there. You have to hand it to Glix and Jennifer. Get rid of the third, and now one of these two is going to gain that title shot. Glix looking to regain the Sold Clout title, but no chance at that. What a performance from Astorio. I said beginning into this, she is the one to watch for. She is the most dangerous competitor in here by far, but I did not expect it to go that quickly. Arguably a mistake by Glix to team up with Jennifer. Should have maybe sought the alliance with Kineas to do a 2-on-1 and get Jennifer out of the ring instead. There we see Golden Ticket go down very quickly after that. There's the elimination by Glix, throwing Mary out. Again, no Druid solidarity here tonight. And there is that ill-fated team up for Glix. Both of them booting Kineas out, and they're just over the top and thrown out. This is now what either Battlestar or DC have as their reward for victory in our main event tonight. Jennifer Astorio, the #1 contender for the Sold Clout Championship. After that, I think we need a little bit of breathing room before we move on to our next set of multi-competitor chaos. So we have for you up next a very special showcase match. It'll be the Witch versus the Hunter. We'll be right back after these messages.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic. fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door, restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of Earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void-black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the center. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V.M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre.
Welcome back. And welcome back to the ring, Lady Aria Night Valley.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Lady Winters.
The Witch versus the Hunter. A showcase match. Pride is what is on the line here tonight. A new look for Lady Night Valley, reinventing herself between our seasons. She has not had the greatest stretch of luck since losing the $1 Shillion Championship. We will find out in future what her plans are this season. But right now, they only look like facing down one man. Your former Sold Clout champion, this is the man DC Lasser was able to produce a victory against. Between seasons, Van Hessel returned to the Vatican. He is back with a new mission, new orders. We do not know yet what that is going to shape up as. We do not know what that is going to look like. but the choice of opponent is telling. Lady Night Valley, Princess of the Fey Winter Court, a deeply magical being. We could read into the fact that this is who Van Hassel wanted for his first match back. Aria mouthing off, and big boot right out of the gate. Van Hassel did not come to play. And look at the disrespect being shown to Aria, just rubbing her face into the ring canvas, but rolls through. Ref almost got in the way there, but a big takedown by Van Hassel. And stomp to the fingers. This is a vicious beatdown. And up, and a big power slam. Looks like he's hyping himself up for another. Irish whip off the ropes, and counter though. Quick blow to the back of the head by Night Valley, and neck breaker takes down Van Hassel. And she's trying to slow it down with that headlock. Smart maneuvering. Slowing it down. Van Hassel was keeping a breakneck pace at the beginning, so Aria now trying to break it down, keep things on her speed. One. Only a one. Very early pinfall attempt there. But Aria now very much back in control of this matchup. Elbows to the spine of the Witch Hunter and hoisting him up to that mid-rope. And drapes back, and crack down goes the neck of Van Hassel. Now though, counters, and it seems we've got a strike exchange between the two locked in that Van Hassel very quickly got the upper hand of. Aria though, no slouch. And catches that blow, and another counter by Van Hassel, chop right across the chest, and it looks like there with that elbow strike, it is Van Hassel that gets the best of the exchange. Back on top. Ref, get out of the way. We can't see the action. Van Hassel now rolling and going right back once again. Look at the core strength. Another big power slam. Down goes Aria. And all the way up to the top rope. We don't see this often by the Witch Hunter, but all the way up, and big flying tackle, crunch. And Van Hassel seemingly incensed. Big scoop slam, down goes Aria. 1, 2, is this going to do it? No, Aria gets that shoulder up in time. But Gabriel Van Hassel has something in mind. And end of days. 1, 2, that is that. Lady Aria is the first witch to fall to the hunter. That was certainly the end of days for Lady Night Valley. We saw there that flying crossbody. Damn near took Aria's head off her shoulders. Still had some fight into her though, Lady Winter not giving up. And here is where it all went wrong. End of days locked in, and there is the 3 count for Lady Aria.
Here is your winner, the Witch Hunter!
With that dominant performance by Gabriel, we have 2 matches left on the card for tonight. A triple threat up first of all, this to determine who will be the #1 contender for the $1,000,000 title currently around the waist of Serenity Spider. One of these 3 competitors up next will be entering the Spider's lair. We'll find out who after this. Triple threat action, here we go!
The following is a triple threat match. Making her way to the ring from overseas, Violet!
Perennially on the edge of greatness in all influencer wrestling, Saria Violet formed towards the end of last season a fairly effective tag team with Faria Ahmed. Faria has unfortunately returned for training, no longer an active part of the AI-Dub roster, along with many of the New York contingent. So Saria Violet once again going solo. Saria, though, another competitor who has shown herself to be quite adept in multi-competitor matches, and a triple threat could well be suited for her. If she can find victory here tonight, she will be booking a match with Serenity Spider for that $1,000,000 title. She has 2 competitors to get through, though, and here comes the first.
From Chicago, Illinois,
The Dark Wolf, Fenris. Fenris, similar to Saria, has had some victories in All Influencer Wrestling, but has not been able to carve a path for herself that has led to championship gold. This match could very well be a change in those fortunes. Will it be one of these 2, or will it be our 3rd and final entrant? He is here representing the Amon Orphans, trying to establish a path to gold for them. Asha, of course, has held the Sold Clout Championship briefly herself. Tiff going solo, chasing the $1,000,000 championship. We are certain, now that the rules have shifted and roster's been merged, to see Averick and Asha making an appearance in the tag division before too long. Very much a personality difference in the ring. You have the much more serious, punch you in the face style of Saria and Fenris. Tiff, a very charismatic, very flamboyant competitor, but that does not make him any less dangerous in the ring, as many competitors have found out. None of these competitors have held gold in All Influencer Wrestling before, and all of them are looking to change that. Tiff taking a moment, quite sensibly, to just let the other two fight it out for a minute. Smart strategy in a triple threat, honestly. Like, why get yourself involved earlier than you need to? Let the two of them pummel it out and take your moment, and it's paying out for him indeed. Sarria down, and there goes Fenris, and Tiff left standing tall. Good strategy by the Teal Tiefling. And rolling through and immediately going for a quick roll through on Fenris, who is not having it, pulls through into the corner and ducks through. What ring awareness by Tiff! Saw that blow coming from behind by Surya, dodged through and able to counter. And just now cheering on the beating that Fenris is giving Surya. Tiff is having the time of his life in this match, and Fenris is tired of it. Blow to the spine. She's decided it's Tiff's turn to get some punishment. Surya now tied up in the ropes and going for the knees, and there's Surya taking her moment now, striking from her prone position. Violet now dishing out the violence. An elbow strike. Poor Tiff really suffering for his earlier cockiness. And lest we forget, weapons are legal in a triple threat, and Fenris has a sledgehammer. And it looked like right into the arse of Surya Violet. Fenris seemingly trying to give Surya a sledgehammer colonoscopy. Tiff recovered and back in the ring, and that sledgehammer sitting there unattended could be a dangerous situation for Fenris. Not taken advantage of by Tiff though. Up and pile driver. Down goes the Dark Wolf. And Fenris up over the shoulders goes Tiff, but fights his way through and counters into a DDT. And yelling for Fenris to get up. Surya, the one hauling her to the feet, it seems, and Tiff, screw it, tried to go for the rope assisted crossbody anyway, but Fenris and Surya too busy going at each other to allow Tiff to land it. And Surya now going for the pinfall. And Fenris right there to break it up. I think Surya thought that toss to the outside was going to keep Fenris distracted a little longer than it did. And now Surya down, Fenris and Tiff the ones up and active, and Fenris very much in control. And a whiff on the kick there by Surya, but fights out of the grapple by Fenris. And Fenris brushes off that boot to the side like it was nothing. Takes it down to the mat. Tiff taking a moment to gather himself, perhaps going to look for a weapon on the underside, and he is, but is that going to be a mistake? He's now realized what's happened, tossed it down, he pulled a baseball bat, I believe that was, from out of the ring, and rolls through. Quick roll up by Tiff, but Fenris able to power up before the ref can even get in position. And now Fenris' turn to roll through, but Surya standing right there to break it up. Strikes, rolls through, and the leg wrenched in deep. Trying to go for the submission. A smart move in a triple threat. If you can get your opponent to tap quickly before the other opponent can break it up, certainly a lot easier than landing a 3 count with needing both opponents incapacitated. And there goes Tiff landing the crossbody off the top rope this time. Surya prone in the corner, turns his attention to Fenris. And this time it's Tiff's turn to, well, he tried to go and lay in the repeated head strikes, but Fenris wasn't having it. And complete miss. And now it's Tiff striking the pose with the sledgehammer. Fenris wisely rolled out of the way to recover, which leaves Surya a prone target to get absolutely hammered by Tiff. And here comes Fenris with the kendo stick. Tried to knock Tiff out of midair, misjudged it. I think caught her elbow on his leg or his knee. Seemed to do more damage to her than him, and still managed to hit the target. But now injured rolls through. What does Fenris have in mind for Violet? And locked in the clutch. And tap, tap, tap goes Violet. Choked out by the Coquina clutch. I said that was going to be the smartest way to end this match, and Fenris proving exactly that. Sent Tiff down to the outside and choked out a brutalized Surya Violet. I think there we see that elbow strike landing right across the sternum of Surya was the moment at which Fenris was able to capitalize. Took advantage of Tiff's weight crashing down across the collarbone and locked in that chokehold. And the Dark Wolf Fenris will now be entering the Spider's lair. Fenris versus Serenity Spider for the $1 Shillion Championship will be coming up imminently in future episodes. But for tonight, we have one match remaining. It is our main event. It is the unification match. The two sides of the roster, two Sold Clout champions enter. Only one will walk away with the new designed belt. Will it be Battlestar Galactica or Producer to the Stars, DC Lasser? We'll find out after this. Welcome back and welcome to our main event. Two champions enter, one leaves.
The contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the prestigious Internet Championship. Making her way to the ring from the
Your Sold Clout champion, Battlestar Galactica. Neither of these clout chasers have held this title for very long. And only one of them will leave this still a champion with now the questionable fate of knowing that their next challenge will be Jennifer Astorio. Will Battlestar still have that glow after this match? Or will this be DC producing another victory?
Then her opponent from parts unknown, weighing in at 219 pounds, DC.
The Hatomancer himself making his way down to the ring. It was DC who took that Sold Clout title after a dominant run by Gabriel Van Hessel. DC the one to finally send the Witch Hunter back to the Vatican for a while. Both belts have been taken. They are replaced by the newly designed Sold Clout Championship. And there it is. That's what we're here for. And Val out the gate immediately charges and immediately countered by DC. There is no love lost here. These two know what is at stake. Look at this explosion of offense by DC. Immediately into a moonsault. Battlestar came off the starting blocks, firing on all cylinders, but DC able to counter, and now it's Lasser in control. Going back up to that top rope once again. What's DC have in mind? Flying elbow crashes down onto Battlestar. And a running clothesline to a prone Val. This is not looking good for Battlestar Galactica. DC taunting Battlestar, yelling at them to get up. Thrown into the corner. And there's a counter, a depth counter there by Battlestar. And arms locked in, bounces DC off the turnbuckle, and now it's Battlestar in control. As fittingly, Val, we see this happen time and time again. She gets her opponent locked in the corner and then stomps a hole into them. Another sequence of those big boots. An elbow strike. I think that was a counter attempt by DC that did not work out too well for the Hattermonster, and now it's Battlestar's time to yell for DC to get to his feet. And a missile drop kick. Smack in the middle of the ring. One. Only a one count though. Too much on the line. Too much at stake. It's going to take more than that to keep DC down. And head scissors locked in, trying to choke out the Hattermonster, but he is able to roll through. And face plants. Down goes Lasser. After that opening stretch, it has now been all Battlestar for this portion of this match. And sweep of the leg. And quick, rapid moonsault off the top. DC with that sudden explosion of movement. Only a one count though. Val tank maining their way out of that pinfall attempt. And release suplex, over goes Battlestar. Lighting up Val with that flurry of offense, and again, hook arm release suplex, over goes Battlestar. What does DC have in mind now? Going for the leg, the heel hook. The ankle lock is locked in. Val is in trouble, but it takes more than that to get a tank main to tap out. Once again, DC up on the top, begging at Battlestar to get to their feet. What does DC have in mind? Returning the favor, missile dropkick from DC to Val, returning the one that she gave him earlier. And then once again, that running sliding clothesline from DC. Val rolling out of the ring to get a little bit of recovery time, but DC is right there, ready and waiting, working over the shoulder. Hauls Battlestar back to the feet. Quick elbow counter. Battlestar now back in control, hurls DC over to the side and gets back in. No, does not get back in. Instead, up on top, and a giant hammer blow from the top. And let's not get lost in the crowd counting those blows. The ref's count is still ongoing. And atomic drop by Val, and down there took DC's head off with the ring apron there. Hardest part of the ring, as we all know. Ref's count has reset. We're up to a 2, and Bound and DC crashing off those steel steps. Breaks the ref's count. Smart maneuvering there by Battlestar. And just tossing DC around like a sack of potatoes. Boots to the head. The hat cushioning some of the blow, but not enough. They still got some time, but Battlestar needs to get this back into the ring. Oh, there goes Battlestar into the ring. Are they going to break the ref's count again? DC slowly climbing his way back to his feet. He's able to get in, breaks the count as the ref hits 8, but big clothesline from Battlestar sends DC down to the canvas once again. Again, ref, get out of the pissing way. And Val locking in the submission maneuver. DC in trouble, but able to quickly roll through. The flexibility of Lasser, very impressive in this match. And quick elbow strikes on the counter. And now DC fighting back. Repositioning Val away from those ropes. Good ring awareness by Lasser. And the ankle lock locked in once again. And lower it down. He's dropped down. That is some impressive torque he's got on that. And Battlestar has to tap. Battle taps out. The tank main has tapped, and with that, still and now your only Sold Clout champion, the Hatter Monster, the producer to the stars and star in his own right, DC Lasser. A impressive back and forth match. Towards that end stretch, you would have sworn that Battlestar had this in the bag, but the sheer athleticism, that slipperiness of DC, able to work his way out of anything Battlestar threw at him, till eventually getting that second ankle lock and locked in deep. Val in the middle of the ring, nowhere to go. We see there how Val almost took DC's hat off. And this is where it was all over. Repositioned into the middle of the ring. And your Sold Clout champion.
Prestigious Internet Champion.
A night of celebration for the Hatamatsu, but celebration that may well be short-lived, given that we now know DC's next title defense is going to be against Jeneth Astorio. Enjoy that victory while you can, DC. You've got a hell of a defense up against you. That, however, brings us to the end of our first episode of Season 3 of All Influencer Wrestling. It's good to be back. We have a lot planned for the coming weeks. A lot of shows, a lot of clout chasing to go. I have been your clout missioner, Captain Tyriant Guidal. And as always, remember to stay #out for clout.